Good afternoon and happy Thursday to all of your sunshiny faces, guys. My hair is a hot mess today. Don't even pay attention to it. I am actually going to wash it in just a couple minutes. First off, guys, this dog, I don't know why, whenever I put my laptop away, like if I've been using it or something like that, he acts really weird. Like he turns over, he rolls over on his belly. You gonna roll on your belly? Which he like never does. He rolls like this and he looks at me. And it's super weird because like I said, he like never does that except for when he knows I'm putting my computer away. Yeah, oh my gosh, look at this sleepy little face. You have bat ears today, Bravo. Bravo to bat ears? Oh, look at you, so cute. Hi, Bravo bat ears. Hi, Bravo to bat ears. You're so cute. Look at your little baddie. Ah, yeah, and I need a baddie. And I scratchy your little belly. And Charlie's jealous over there. Oh my gosh, guys, he's falling asleep. He never likes to be on his back, which is like really weird. Hi, Charlie. Hi. And bat ears, Bravo. And bat ears, Charlie. Oh, sleepy baby. Sleepy baby. Your ears popping up. Cracking me up, Bravo. He's still laying like that. Anyways, though, guys, I got like dishes and laundry taken care of for today. I actually finished all the laundry today, which was nice because I don't know why this week in particular, it seems like I've had more laundry than I had, like, I haven't been doing laundry. I guess I have maybe been doing laundry like every single week, pretty much, but I feel like I've been like, I can just do like one load of darks, one load of lights, then I do one load of warms and one load of reds, and so I do like 5 or so loads. Sometimes I might not have enough to do warms. I might do that every other week, or reds. It kind of just depends. So I might only have like, you know, 4, or no, did I say 4 loads anyway? I might only have like 3 or 2 to 3 loads to do a week. But this week I ended up having to do 2 loads of darks, 2 loads of lights, 2 loads of reds, and a load of warms. And that was because also too, Matthew and Jack and my parents, everybody this week for some reason was all washing their bedding. So I had a lot more on top of that. Plus it just seemed like clothing wise though, there was a lot more clothes, which I don't really know why. But then I threw in a load of dishes too. So I didn't cook tonight though because we ended up going and seeing the new Ant-Man and Wasp movie, which, guys, it was a good movie. I liked it. There was like a lot of action, like my dad said too, there was a lot of special effects. There wasn't a whole ton of action. Like there was kind of some at the beginning and then like kind of some at the end. And the story was like, it was pretty like easy to follow, but then at the same time too, like they were trying to make light, I think, of the situation and stuff like that, of like, you know, the complicated nature of the movie and stuff like that, and so they're trying to make light of it, I think, and like comedy and stuff like that, you know, sprinkled in over top of the maybe a little bit more confusing parts. But it was, like I said, a pretty decently easy movie to like follow, given that it's all about like quantum realms and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, it was pretty easy to follow. It's just what I realized is that it was a movie that didn't really even have to come when it did. There was no immediate threat in the movie, like no spoilers really here or anything like that. Basic plot, I guess. There was like no immediate threat. Like there wasn't some bad guy that was like standing there with a knife or something like that. There was like, I'm gonna kill somebody, or you know, anything like that. It was just like more of a like they needed to go find somebody, and it was like the bad guys only showed up because they ended up reaching out to like try and do what they're doing, which didn't have to happen right now. Like they really could have done it at any point. You know, they could have done it 5 years from now or something like that. Now, I think the reason they ended up putting it in here was because of how they're doing the MCU timeline and everything like that, and with the whole Infinity War stuff, it makes sense. But it was a movie that, honestly, if they chose to, they could have put it like another 5 years down the road. It didn't have to happen when it did. But I think in, like I said, the general timeline of the whole thing is when they decided to put it in, because I think it will come into play at some point. And they do make a little bit of a reference at the end of the movie to that as well, which is kind of interesting also. So that was like it was, like I said, it was a good movie. It was just one of those movies where it was like, it didn't, everything that the main characters were actually doing was what was bringing them into the danger, I think. And again, it wasn't something that was like super immediate that had to happen at that moment. You know, there wasn't any immediate threat that had to be solved, you know, that like I said, some bad guy's blowing something up and they have to go and stop them. It wasn't that. It was more because of them that the bad people showed up in the movie, you know, and stuff like that. So I think it was cool because it was kind of a little bit of a twist on that, if you actually paid attention to like kind of realize that in the story. It wasn't like a, you know, pressed for time kind of like movie like I feel like a lot of the other ones have been, or you know, like a lot of like there's just like cause and effect that end up happening throughout the movie and stuff like that. It was really because of the main characters that the whole movie ended up happening. It wasn't because of, like I said, some bad guy doing something that ended up having the whole movie. So it was kind of cool in that sense, but at the same time too, it was like, if they hadn't done some things, then maybe the movie wouldn't even have to have happened. But like I said, it was pretty good. I liked it. I thought, you know, maybe a little bit of the slower movies, but it's weird too because it seems like almost all of the second movies have either not done so well, haven't been super popular, or personally, I haven't loved the second movies of a whole lot of them. The only one I'll say is Captain America, which was Winter Soldier. That's still probably my favorite Marvel movie. But like with the exception of that one, I think the second Thor movie did not do very well. I think the second Iron Man movie didn't do very well, if I'm not mistaken. And personally, I didn't love the second Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know why. I thought the first one was way better, and then the second one was like, oh, it's pretty good. But then it seems like the third one always winds up redeeming itself again. So, we'll see. And then I feel like kind of the same way with the Ant-Man. Like, I really liked the first one and the story and everything like that. And this one was kind of like, oh, it's a good sequel. Like, I feel like that's kind of how the majority of the second movies that they've done in like this series is like the second movie's pretty good, or you know, is okay or whatever, and it's just like a good second movie, a sequel, and then the third movie's normally like pretty good. I don't know, for some of them I don't know if I could say that the first one's always more the origin story, so it's always like I feel like pretty good if they did it well, which again, I thought all of them, but maybe the first Iron Man movie. I don't know why, guys. Iron Man is like, I think I told you guys too, it's like probably one of my favorite characters, but for some reason I didn't like the standalone movies that much. I think in like the Infinity Wars and Civil War and stuff like that, and you know, the rest of the Avengers movies and stuff like that, really good. I like the character, but I don't like him by himself for some reason. I don't know why. And that's why I didn't love the Iron Man movies like quite as much as I feel like I've really liked a lot of the other ones. And like I said too, my favorite still has to be that second Captain America movie. And like I really liked the Black Panther movie and Spider-Man, and I also like the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I did like Civil War too, but Civil War to me never really like makes me think of like Captain America. It always kind of just makes me think of like actually the Avengers, but technically I guess that's his third movie. So even though it has all the Avengers in it, it's not actually the Avengers. But yeah, so we ended up seeing that today, and I told you guys we were going to actually get something to eat today, so that's why I didn't cook, so I didn't have quite as many dishes to do today, but we ended up actually kind of like running out of time, and my dad got home from like football late. Tomorrow though, we're going to the high school football game, and I'll tell you guys about that in a second. But yeah, anyways, back to the dinner thing. We just didn't have enough time and ended up not going to dinner. Everybody else, myself included, except for Jack, I think, all ate something beforehand. And so my dad was like, oh, well, should we get something to eat? We were all like, oh, no, we're fine. Like, we didn't really have enough time anyway. We actually got there literally just about like one, I think, trailer before the movie. Well, no, I guess that was a lie. Like, we got there for the commercials before the trailers. And then we got there like right just about when the actual trailers were starting. So, yeah, but we made it like just on time. So that's why we didn't end up getting anything to eat anyway, because we were kind of out of time, and I had already eaten, so had everybody else, so it wasn't that big of a deal, except for Jack. And I was like, well, then when you get home, just like eat some leftovers. And he ate like half the thing of popcorn that we ended up buying. So I was like, you're fine. Tomorrow at the football game, we're going to the high school football game because it is like I think it's called like the blue-white game. It's like school colors game. It's just they play each other. These are little bunny ears, guys. They're not quote marks or anything like that, but yeah, so it's like they play each other like just in a scrimmage game or whatever. I think the freshmen are going to be playing the sophomores, or like the JV, and the JV plays the freshmen, or if they're big enough, they'll have like the varsity might end up playing the I don't know if I said seniors or if I said varsity, but the varsity will probably end up playing themselves, like if they have the full offense, full defense. I don't know how it's going to happen, but Matthew wants to go because a lot of his friends that he played with like last year or, you know, the last few years, whatever, will be, they're going to be seniors this year, so he does know a lot of the kids that are obviously still on the team, because he played with them last year when they were juniors, and so he wants to go and like go say hi to everybody and stuff like that. And then also too, because I think this is the first Friday before he goes to school. Next Friday he goes to school, so he wants to go and see it. But since my dad's coaching the freshmen, that's why we're going to go. I don't know if my mom's going. She didn't come with to the movie either, and it's funny too because my mom is so like, she's like, I can't understand time travel, and I can't understand, like, you know, she would have been totally lost, I think, in this movie. Like I said, it was like cutesy kind of, I think, where they didn't try to make it too super serious where you couldn't figure out what was going on, or, you know, and like they kind of sprinkled in that comedy in there. But for my mom, she tries to, I think, wrap her brain around, like, and not that it was time travel, but like anything kind of like that, I think she tries to figure it out too much and she gets really confused, and then she's like, I don't understand how that whole thing happened, or I don't know. She didn't even really understand Black Panther because she's like, how can they have all of this stuff, you know, the vibranium? She's like, how can they have all this stuff and it's so scientific and they're so smart? And she like couldn't wrap her brain around, like, she's like, so it's sci-fi but they're also like tribal. She's like, I don't understand it. And I was like, and she doesn't understand Star Wars either, I think, for the same thing, because they dress in robes and cloaks and stuff like that, and it looks old-timey to her, but it's like in the future, so she can't get it. So it's kind of the same thing with Black Panther. Like, they kind of dress, you know, in like native clothing and stuff like that, but they use vibranium, which is super high-tech and like super in the future, and so she can't get it. And so I think for her, this too kind of like, you know, dimensions and stuff like that, and I think for her, she never saw Doctor Strange, but I'm pretty sure she saw that one, she would have been just as confused. So although I was like, you know, oh mom, you should come and stuff like that, it wasn't any of the movies that she really, I don't know, she just didn't want to go see it. And she was like, I didn't see the first one. She's like, I don't even really remember him being in Civil War, and so she's like, she's like, I don't really care that much. And so I was like, okay. So but then anyway, I guess it was a good thing because she probably would have been lost. So, anyways, though, guys, I'll see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So, bye, guys.